Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modelling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with the intake a little bit here and think about how we're going to kind of work with what we have. And then what we're also going to do, I think, is we're going to have a go at just running around, making sure all the mesh is as optimized as it can be in certain areas. And then we'll start to think about maybe we could do a little bit of window trim as well. So let's jump in down here, and I think what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to bring this extra line in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this like so. I'm going to hit Control E and I'm going to bring this up here just like so, something like that. And then let me just, I'm just going to grab these two vertices. I'm going to go to Edit Mesh. I'm going to merge those together. Okay, so do something like that. I'm going to maybe take all of these and just bring them out a little bit. Okay, so now we're up and above. So what I'm going to maybe do here then is I'm going to take this one. I'm going to hit Control E and we'll take this across. Now this is a weird one. Again, I'm trying to get a good angle at kind of like the front intake for this. It's not the easiest to kind of find. But what we actually have, and what we actually don't have, is we don't seem to really have anything that goes across here. It's almost as if the intake kind of merges with this section here that goes up into the roof. So it almost kind of merges with that. And then it's just really got a little bit of trim around there. So what I'm kind of thinking for this is we'll maybe take this, we'll grab these ones. I'm going to hit Control E and I'm going to pull this across here. Okay, so we'll do that. We should maybe see in the top view, you can kind of see how thick we want this to be, maybe something like that. Very similar to the kind of thickness of what we have across here. I'm going to grab my multi-cut and I'm going to draw in this. Now this is probably most likely going to be temporary, but we're going to drag that in and across there. And I'm going to target weld that together. Okay, so we can see that we're sitting roughly in the right spot. So let's maybe bring that across here, and then this one, maybe something a bit more like that. Okay, I'm going to take these two, let's pull those over there, and again let's try and just get a good kind of angle along here, which is just kind of representative of that going all the way across, so it's nice and smooth. So something along those lines. Now I'm thinking like for this one that it might actually be a bit too far in my example underneath. I'm thinking that it's probably a bit more like that instead. So it's just, if I can get in a bit closer, it's just behind this lip on here. Unless maybe it's actually, let's try looking at this one. Hey guys, so I've just paused the video and looked through literally 1,000 pictures and it definitely sits behind. So something like that. Yeah, so I'm thinking going to be something like that. So I've got that going back in there. Let's just maybe grab real quick. I'm not going to do the top one. Actually, yeah, let's just do the top one. So I'm going to grab each of these. I'm going to hit Control E. And we'll scale this back here. Only ever so slightly, because we can see it only goes a little bit further back there. And then we want the inner portion. So we want this bit and this bit to be much further forward, like that. Okay, and we'll maybe want these to kind of reflect that too, so we'll bring these out here. we did multiple ones up here, so let's grab all of those and pull these forward too. Okay, so we've just got that curving nicely around there. Let's just try get a bit more uniform in that curve as it runs up and around this, so that's fine. Okay, so that's kind of base mesh nailed then for that. Have a look around here, and I'm thinking in terms of the base mesh, I think we're looking good. So let's have a go at maybe optimizing things just a little bit. I'm thinking what we might do is I'm thinking of grabbing these here. I'm going to go to edit mesh, I'm going to hit extract. Because I'm feeling like the extra geometry we need in here for the kind of gap in the door is just adding unnecessary weight to our main area up here. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe re-plotting this line. So we're currently going here. I'm thinking of maybe taking that one up there. It means that what we can do is we can actually get rid of this. As we're going side there, let's maybe just missed that little bit there, so let's grab that bit too. Okay. And now with that moving up there, in theory what we don't need anymore is we don't need this that comes along here. So we can see there that we've got much more space within our geometry, so we'll get rid of this one too. So we've got much friendlier, much larger area in there. What we do though is we do still need this. So let's maybe for now we can bring that up there and just attach that over there. And I'm just gonna move this along a little bit here. Something like that. Okay, so that's just kind of helped out our roof a lot more in terms of the kind of topology and where it's all kind of moving and passing through. I'm going to maybe keep the edge on as we kind of move around here. So what their real aim is to get kind of as much distance between a lot of these as possible. Now we want to kind of be along the same kind of area here, but if we're not, it's not a massive problem. So we'll take that. We could maybe push this in and then do the same over here. Get that going through there. I'm also going to create a bit more space over here. So I can start to run that with much more usable gap here. So let's go along here, across there. Okay, so now if we was to hit 3 on this and just get rid of our thing, we can see that that's much smoother compared to this one over here where we have this bobble, kind of like knuckle area sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see that too well, especially after YouTube has compressed this, but we do have like a little bobble there which we don't have anymore over here, so that's much smoother, which is good. So we're happy with that. I think what we'll maybe do is down here, let's maybe fix down here as well. So let's go and insert an edge loop. I'm going to drop one in along here, maybe just about there. And this is going to be good for us, again, just to help with a little bit more curvature for a lot of these options. Let me just get rid of my edge slide. Do something like that. This bit here is probably setting out a bit too far. Okay. Let's pull that in a little bit too. We're going to want to kind of add a bit more to this portion too. So we want this bit here. Maybe add a bit more to there. want to add a bit on here as well, just to kind of help us match up there too. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it looks like I've got an extra bit here which I don't need. So yeah, we're going to run through here. I'm going to snap all the vertices to match, so I'll just go there, snap this one here, and then this one here as well. I think though that one, maybe when I added this in I didn't actually adjust it, so I think I actually want to snap that one forward. Okay, pull these slightly to the side. Again, just so that they're curving nicely. Let's do the same for all of these. Okay, so I got a little bit more kind of going on inside there. With this bit, we did rethink all of this. I'm going to hit delete on that one. And also just for this, I'm just for now, I'm going to delete that extra kind of little bit down there. Let's just double check how we're sitting at the front. So that's looking all okay. Okay, and that's looking okay too. So what that really means for us now is that we don't actually want these anymore. So I'm going to grab all of these and hit delete. So I'm going to delete all of these on there. I'm going to insert an edge loop down here, which should help me pull that up a little bit there. So what we'll do now is I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to hit Control E, just going to pull those in, and now if I can see here, I'm going to target weld that one up here. If it will let me. Looks like it's not registering, so I'm going to grab it, hold in V, and merge those together. I'm going to take this one here, I'm going to hold down V, and I'm going to take it over there. And then I'm just going to do the same, I'm going to hold down V, bringing all of those up into that required position, and then these last ones here, we don't really have anything left to snap to, but what we can do is, I think we'll need all of these. I'm going to hit Control E and take those in. Just grab these ones here. I think these ones are going to want to go in this direction. Okay, so let's maybe take all of these over here. I'm going to maybe straighten them off a little bit too. Not going to all the way, but we're going to go in a little bit with them. And then pull in this direction too. Okay. And then we'll do the same for these ones as well. So I'm going to grab all of these. And bring these in. I'll take them over there. Okay, something like that. And again, kind of similar story. I'll straighten those off a little bit. Put them so they're somewhat relative. Okay, and then I'm just going to take them in one by one. Okay, something like that. So we're going in there, and the reason, well, one of the main reasons for that is because when we do come to smooth again, we want that to kind of come together rather than getting super jagged and weird. So we'll do that. Let's take these then. So we'll take these here. I'm going to go in. And we just kind of wanted to match that existing curve that we made a second ago. So I'm just going to go up to roughly the same height. Do something like that. So that's looking okay. And then what we'll do with this is we'll extrude this down to get that extra little bit, which is going to sit where we need it to. I think let's maybe just bring those out a little bit there. Okay, so that's looking like it's quite good. In terms of the rest, I think the rest will be okay for now until it comes to us looking to smooth. In between episodes, in between this episode and the next, I'm going to go inside here and I'm going to smooth all of this out into kind of one coherent piece. So rather than it flowing all the way in like this, it's going to get a little bit flatter and a little bit straighter, and I'll show you guys what that will look like in that next episode. But for now, the only bit of this I'm really happy with is this bit here. Okay. I think what we're going to want to do for this, based on the reference images that I've been looking at, is at the back here where this window is, I think we're going to want this to actually eventually come and sit at about, roughly about where that is. So I'm thinking that this actually needs to be much further out, like here. So let's grab these bits and do the same. So I think that needs to be much further out there. Bring those down just a little bit. Okay. What we're going to do is, let's maybe think about the windscreen in here. So on the hood we only have like 3 bits that are going down here, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. I think what we could do is let's maybe add in something like that. And then I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to hold down Control and Delete for that. Just to kind of help us as we get a bit further down the hood. So let's just go, I'm going to bring in a plane. Okay, and then for this plane, I'm just going to reduce the subdivisions all the way down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down V, I'm going to snap these over here and then over here into the center, and then still holding V, I'm going to go down here and down here as well. So I'm going to be something like that. Now I'm having a look again, and the windscreen here isn't obviously going to join to the actual hood there, but what we're going to do is we're going to snap it to that hood to get that same curve, and then we're going to push it down because there will be some kind of plastic cowling underneath there. So let me grab my insert edge loops, and I'm going to just drop in 2 for now. And this one over here, I'm going to hold down V and we're going to snap each of those there. And I'm just going to zoom in and just make sure that I'm snapping to the same vertices, because we do have like a double edge running down and around there, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to snap and we'll bring that over here, and then we'll bring that one over there. So we've kind of got the idea of what's going on with that windscreen. I'm going to take all of these lower ones, I'm going to pull this down. What we actually want to do first is let's maybe grab these. Wondering if I can get I'm wondering if I can get a better angle on that, which I don't think I'll be able to, unless maybe I go one by one. No, still not quite. What I'm thinking we want to do for this is, let's just go back to world. What I think we're going to want to do with this here is we're going to want to take this down and past. So we're going to go something like that. And that there. Just make sure we're looking good everywhere else, which I think we are. So we're going to go all the way down and past there. We're going to want this to come down, snap into that. And then the rest of the windshield here, we're going to want to come down to that same height. Maybe just something like that. Okay. Let's go and grab insert edge hoop. Okay, so we can see that this is quite a flat windscreen actually. So let's maybe drop one in at the top here, because we can see that we've got that section there. So I'm going to grab those and pull them in. I'm not going to do the edge one. I'm going to hold down G. I'm going to drop a loop a little bit closer to the bottom. It looks like with this windscreen here we want to come back the way. I think that's a bit too low. I think maybe we want to go something like that, because we're just wanting to be lower than this, but not like crazy low. Let's take those, bring them down there. Okay, maybe something like that. Okay, and then let's maybe just do one more. We'll go roughly in the middle, in between those. Okay, so we're just looking there to add a little bit more shape to that, which I think is fine. I'm going to take these edges. Yeah, I'm going to take all those. I'm going to hit Control E. And I'm going to pull out here on the Z axis and just pull them across. Something like that. And so it definitely looks like we're going to want to bring this a little bit further, a little bit lower. Because obviously this bit here is a lot higher anyway, so let's do something like that. And then I'm going to take these ones over here. Maybe just bring them up a little bit. Just to offset that slightly. Okay, and then let's maybe just do edge slide on here. And we just want to make sure we're flowing nicely down here. Looks like it's kind of lost a little bit. I don't know if that was from some of the movements, but we definitely want these to be a bit more like that. Okay, so I think that's looking okay. Does look though like, again, with this we want to keep going in that direction. And that's where the wipers were kind of tucked down there. Let's maybe grab that. I'm going to take these here. We'll do mesh, and we're going to extract those in there. we're getting to the stage now where we can maybe think about some different materials. So we've already got a material there for our kind of darker portions, so we can maybe think about adding the materials to those selections underneath there, just so that we can kind of see what we're working with those. The cowling again, we can start to think about that too. We could also maybe think about adding glass. So I'm going to create a quick plane, darken that down and add a bit of transparency to that. And that can be our glass inside there. Okay. We can maybe think about adding some more trim. I don't want to add the trim to here because, like I said, in between episodes I am going to clean some stuff up, so that's going to be part of where I'm cleaning. So I'm not going to worry about that bit just yet. We can maybe make the floor real quick. So I'm going to bring in a new object here. Let me just rotate this around. So quickly just make a floor for the car. Get that in the center. I'm going to increase that as we go up. Maybe a little bit on the width as well. Okay, take those. So I'm just going to delete everything, so we're working with this kind of shape here. I'm going to grab everything, I'm going to go mesh display, and I'm going to reverse the normal so we can see the inside rather than the outside. Okay, now we're going to need to be careful with this one, so I'm going to stay kind of tight to the wheels there. Grab all of these here and bring those in. I'm going to take all these lower bits. Control E. If you followed any of my tutorial before, this is quite a quick common step that we usually do. Just take that. I'm going to just grab this. I'm going to hit Control D and take that down there. Okay. Now before I worry about that side, let's go and take our vertices in here. And I'm just going to start to kind of form take all of this back so it's just behind. Okay, I'll take this in here. Okay, so I've got that forming nicely just in there. Obviously we want to stay close but not too close so that nothing's kind of popping through. We don't want to really see any vertices coming through there. And then once we're happy with that, we're going to think about the next. So let's maybe do the same here, grab this, move this up. Okay, we don't need to be perfect with this. I just want it to kind of be enough just to block out and not allow any kind of lighting to go. In between episodes, again, this is probably something that I do refine a little bit. Because even though we don't want to be perfect, we don't want any kind of shadows or any light passing through any of these gaps and then showing up on the inside of the car or anything. Especially because on this car we're hoping to model the engine bay, so we're going to get in some shots on the kind of inside. I don't know if we're going to do an interior for this. We're definitely going to do the engine. Pull that up there. Okay, so once we've got those and we're fairly happy with that, I'm going to grab both of these, I'm going to combine them together. And doing so is going to allow me to bridge in between these lower edges here and select it. Go edit mesh and bridge, which will go across there. That looks fine. And I can grab all of these edges now and hit Control E. And holding X, I'm going to pull these into the center. We can drop some edge loops, so I'll maybe put one here and then maybe put two inside this bit there. That will allow me to grab these edges at the front. I don't think we'll need to at the back because the diffuser kind of cuts nicely down there. We can hit Ctrl E for this and pull this forward. And then I'm just going to set all these points in behind here. When we come to do more details on the front diffuser, we'll extrude all that in so it kind of plugs the gaps there. And then, just like before, I'm going to add a darker material to this as well. Okay, so we can maybe grab that and grab this information here. Maybe let's just do the whole lot. Hit delete on here. Just make sure that I'm not deleting that. I'm not too fussed about the wheels either, so delete all of that. I'm going to select everything else apart from the wheels. I'm going to hit Ctrl D, Ctrl G, and then on scale X, I'll go -1. Okay, so it's starting to look good now. We've got a little bit of depth to the model. As well as that, we've got the main kind of windscreen in there. So what I'm going to do is, in between episodes, like I said, I'm going to reformat this area. I'll show you guys in the next episode kind of what I've reformatted it to. And then once I've done that, we'll maybe fill in this window here. We'll get this window in at the back as well. We'll maybe think about the exhausts as well as some more details as well, maybe like some trim pieces and things as well. So we're looking really good, guys. So if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.